When you find out that you're being traded to Philly, your reaction to that moment?
Excited, get to play with Jalen and she was just start a new chapter. Anything that the Patriots ever experienced, throughout the years, I experienced. I went through every high and low.
Be the guy that can make the catch and ride the highs and lows with them.
See, I've already put the helmet on. I just started to go left, and you just like, man, we need to fix this, we need to fix that. Man, dream come true. Last night was like Christmas. I didn't care. I told everybody they need to leave.
Bad teammate, the media, the radio, or Philly fans would speak about who A.J. Brown was.
I wasn't so fixated on the narrative. I was just trying to get that extra push.
6 years ago, we started Creative 7 because we believe stories told by us hit different. 3 seasons until 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, we've proven that. Now we're taking the conversation deeper. Not just what people have done, but who they are when the spotlight fades. This is where 7 p.m. goes next. Maria Taylor is leading the way, not just because she's one of the best, but because she understands that the most important stories live beneath the surface. This is the first. Let's get into it.
Aren't you tired of the same old story?
This is a 7 p.m. in Brooklyn exclusive.
AJ, first of all, thank you for allowing me to come in your house and hang out for a little bit.
Thank you for making it. That's up there.
I have a real question. When did we get this rug right here? Where did this come from?
It came from Amazon, but definitely a few years now. It's been here for a while.
While you were an Eagle, you had this rug in your house?
Absolutely.
You got to tell me why.
Some things just never change. This is my team. This is my team since I was a kid. So it didn't matter. I was doing what I was supposed to be doing as an Eagle, but this is it.
Okay, listen, we're going to get to this chapter, the Patriot chapter of your life. But I want to go on the journey with A.J. Brown, and let's go back to 2022.
Okay.
When you find out that you're being traded to Philly, your reaction to that moment?
Excited, get to play with Jalen and she was just start a new chapter.
Mm-hmm. What did you envision that chapter doing to your career?
To be exactly where we're here now. Mm-hmm. Not at this point, but the success, absolutely. We definitely came in, we talked about what we want to accomplish. We set out and we did that.
Mm-hmm. I want to go to the first Super Bowl, so let's start with Super Bowl 57.
Okay.
Because, it's a tough one.
Yeah.
But it was the beginning of the success, or really trying to understand how great that team could be. Mm-hmm. Take me back to that season, what you learned about yourself, what you learned about your team.
That season, man, we were in the flow state. And everything just felt so easy, and you didn't really notice, because we were just playing so effortless, and guys were having fun and celebrating, and things were just really too good to be true. Mm-hmm. And, everything was just rolling. It's like, yeah, we really doing it. And the Super Bowl game, man, that game was still incredible. Going back and watching, back and forth, but that day they still didn't stop us. Mm-hmm. And a mistake here and there that cost us the game, but that happened in football. But that was it's like, dang, man, like we were right there. Mm-hmm. But it really just propelled us to tell us that, man, we got there. We can go there again. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then ultimately you do in Super Bowl 59, and then you walk away with the victory in that one. I'm curious the feeling. How did it feel different? How did it feel the same the second time you get to make it to the place that a lot of players don't make it in? They can be in the league 10, 11, 12 years and never make it to a Super Bowl.
So I think, I was truly blessed to be around a lot of great guys, a lot of great teammates, and who were really skillful in, how we put together a great team, like as you always do. And the core guys just helped everybody believe, like I said, when we first got there, we believed that we can go there and win. Mm-hmm. And so when we got there and lost, it just showed us that everything is tangible. We really can do it. And we did that, and we got back to that game, and we didn't want to leave no doubt. So everybody was like overly focused, overly ready, like it was destined. Mm-hmm. And the results showed. Mm-hmm.
When you were leaving the field, were you thinking, we're going to do this again and again and again? Were you thinking this is like a Patriots dynasty?
I definitely felt like it was something to start. It could be, you know. I know so much goes into it, you know. It was a year gap that we won, lost, and went back, but definitely with the right guys, you know. And so yeah, I did.
Yeah. But success can kind of do one of two things. We know that success, it leaves clues, so you know how you can get back there again, but it can also create fractures. And it seems as though after Super Bowl 59, we never saw the same happiness, joy, fun from your Eagles team. What do you think happened after Super Bowl 59? What changed?
I think the expectations that we placed upon ourselves became too much. It's like, you have to understand this city. This city expects you to win every single year. And rightfully so, that's what we work for. But the expectations that we drilled in our brain, it's like, we have to win, we have to win, we have to win. And you can become so overly focused and you start pressing. And I think this team just started to do that over a period of time because we still had great players and it was still like the same really core guys. And you added some more guys, but you know, things just kind of just started to go left and you're just like, man, we need to fix this, we need to fix that. But I just felt like we just started pressing as a team and, you know, the noise that come with it because everybody's expecting it. And you can try to like deny it all you want to. Like, yeah, we're defending champs and, you know, we said all year, like, we're not defending nothing, but we are. We were, and, you know, and it was a conversation that, you know, we spoke about in the locker room, and obviously, you know, we said what we need to be said in the media, but you know, it didn't go away because that was always the mission. Instead, I think the mission should have been, you know, just giving your all each and every day, let the chips fall where they may, because you can't control the outcome, you know. So,
how were you responding in those moments?
Not every moment. I can say I handled it the best way, you know, especially the ones was on social media like that. That was wrong, you know, and me taking accountability for that. But with my teammates, I feel like I handled the things correctly. You know, we had tough conversations. We had face-to-face conversations, and we talked and we pushed each other, you know, and we didn't really care who was uncomfortable. And I feel like as a leader, you know, sometimes, you know, that can be frowned upon from the media, but you know, there's always that one guy in that locker room who pushes guys and hold people accountable, and that was me. And I didn't mind being viewed as whatever picture was painting me out to be, you know, because I know, like, my teammates know, like, I had their back, you know, so.
You mentioned the picture that was getting painted. Did you feel as though the picture was making you out to be a villain in some sorts of ways?
I wouldn't say a villain because some of the things that was done, it was done purposely to give us a push, you know. I know if I say something in the media, I know it's gonna propel us to work on it because now everybody's talking about it, you know. So it's like, are we gonna fix it or not? You know, we can't keep saying it. We can't keep saying it's a standard, and we're not trying to truly get better. I'm not saying that we were, but I know if you say what you need to say in the media, which I won't do that anymore, but it gives everything legs and legs to push and to push everybody to be better. Because pressure isn't always a bad thing. It can also be a good thing too. It just depends on how you look at it. And we had guys in the locker room, which was, honestly, I feel like it was okay to do because we had guys in the locker room who were men, you know, and it's like, yeah, well, you know, I know I need to do this, I need to do that, including myself.
So you felt like basically some of the things you would say in the media in ways were a strategy in hopes of helping your team get to become the best version of themselves.
Nothing I ever said was for personal gain. It was always to help this team win and try to be our better self.
What was the narrative that hurt the most about you during your time in Philly?
None of it. Because like I said, it's like,
some of the ones that come to mind are like selfish, bad teammate. You know what I mean? Like the things that were painted across you, or the way that the media, the radio, or Philly fans would speak about who A.J. Brown was?
None of it. Because at the end of the day, we go out there and handle our business. It's like, well, yeah, AJ was right. So I wasn't so fixated on the narratives. You know, I was just trying to get that extra push that I felt like we needed. You know, like I said, moving forward, you know, that's not the best thing to do. You know, especially if you're doing it alone. You need more than one person.
Can't be that one guy.
And but the only thing I would say something, the other guys would say something, and it's just like I'm saying it by myself. Like 5 other guys say the same exact thing, but you take what I say and paint it how you want to paint it. But who cares? So I mean, as long as we get this push, as long as we learn from it and grow from it, I don't care. Yep.
Was there a point last season or during your course of your time in Philly where you're like, it's just untenable? Like I'm ready for what a next chapter might look like for me. Like, can you think of the moment?
No, it wasn't a specific moment, I would say. I think just at the end of the season, you know, I just realized, you know, that I felt like my time was up.
And what did that ultimately mean for the next step, the next move, you know what I mean? Like the next chapter of A.J. Brown's career?
Just to let's just see what happens, honestly. You know, I don't know. You know, I don't know. I'm speechless. I don't know.
It's just interesting because, you know, we all go into situations. You might go into a marriage with the best of intentions and they end in divorce. You go and get traded, you go to a new team with the best of intentions. You win a Super Bowl and the expectation is like, maybe I'm going to be an Eagle for life. Like these are things that you think to yourself. And it doesn't end that way.
Yeah, not all the time.
Not all the time.
Nope.
And so I'm curious how you process that, the idea of that.
Still processing it. I honestly took this time this week to really grieve. To grieve and really process my emotions around it. You know, I'm gonna miss this place. I'm gonna miss teammates. You know, miss the environment. And that's what I did. That's what I've been focused on all week. You know, so obviously this off season I took my time to honestly remove myself. Obviously this is my first time speaking. I haven't said anything. And just let the narratives be whatever they're going to be, and just truly just focus on myself, because that's the only thing that matters. Because regardless of whatever my next destination may be, this don't repeat itself. You know, so learning the lesson. Absolutely. So I'm grateful.
If you could line up the lessons that we learned from being an Eagle, that would be
line up the lessons.
Line them up.
I wouldn't get into detail with the lesson, but the main lesson that I always revert back to: telling the truth out of season is worse than a lie. And you know, not everything needs to be said, even if I feel like it's best. Even if I was voted captain, you know, 3 times in a row, but still, you know, telling the truth out of season is worse than a lie. So I learned that.
What will leadership look like to you moving forward?
Just truly serving the guys, helping in any way I can, you know, and just, I think that's simple, you know, yeah.
I think it's interesting that you said just grieving in general, like bringing up the ideas like something has to die or something is not coming with me as I move forward.
Absolutely.
What was the thing? Like, what was the grief over?
You know, some of the no's that God made me learn, and you know, obviously you can't get so fixated on the highs, but the no's are very pivotal for your growth, and I just learned that during my time, and obviously, you know, moving forward, you know, no, I can't take it with me. It's in the past, you know, but also the only thing I can take is the lesson learned. So.
What's really cool about the next chapter is that you get to be reunited with someone that you know and started your career with. But I'm just curious, once you decided at the end of the season, like you mentioned, like, okay, there's going to be a shift. What's the next step?
After the season?
Yeah, how do you find out what the next destination is going to be? Like, just walk me through the process that you've been on, the journey you've been on this off season.
Just talk to my agent, having a one-on-one sit down, and he got a green light for me. And, I was kind of behind the scenes. I wasn't pushing anything. And he worked his magic, so now we're here.
Were there things like on your wish list?
No, I kind of let him handle that, Obviously, I know it's my career, but, I trust him in that area, in that space, and that's his job. And we talked about a few things, not to get into details, but, I let him handle all of it. Like I said, it was one of those things where I sat back and I enjoy my family each and every day. That's my only focus. Being the best father, husband I can be, and here we go.
Mm-hmm. One thing I hope we can put to bed, or you can speak to once and maybe not have to again, is the relationship with Jalen Hurts. Because that seemed to become just a central point of focus and tension towards the end of your tenure as an Eagle. How would you describe your relationship right now?
Not as close as we once were. And I believe that's fine. It's like there's no bad blood. There's actually still a lot of love. I love him. I love him to death. I want him to succeed and accomplish all the things that he wants to accomplish. I didn't truly understand why our friendship became the public of the center of everybody's attention when it came to football, because looking back on it, we haven't been as close as we were a couple of years now, but that didn't stop anything. We still competed, we still pushed each other, we still led the team. So it's just kind of strange, people just got so fixated on the relationship and wanted to talk about maybe from the history of this place, but that wasn't what this was. And I'm gonna say it to you. I say it on camera. I got nothing but love for him. I want him to do well and accomplish everything that his heart desires. So.
I think at the end of the day, people always just want to know why, and there is an understanding that people grow apart. What is the best way that you can put a description so people can understand?
Yeah, nothing happened. Nothing happened. People just grow apart. Nothing happened between me and him or our families, or wives, anything. Nothing like that ever happened. But life happens. And you just look up sometimes and you find yourself drifting away. And that's fine. And I think both parties accepted that. So.
It's part of life.
Absolutely.
It's part of growing up.
Absolutely.
Not everyone goes with you everywhere.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's right.
That's just real.
Yeah.
Okay, so your agent comes back and he's like, I got it. You're going to be a Patriot. You go down to your basement and you're like, great, I have a man cave. I have a mat that I've had for the last 3 years. Yeah. It's going to be great. No, I'm just curious. Like, what was your reaction to hearing that?
Man, dream come true. Dream come true. I'm truly a kid in the candy store. Last night was like Christmas. I still had another 24 hours or so to go, but yeah, I'm excited, man. The kid in me is ecstatic right now. Yeah.
What is it about the Patriots that have captivated you since you were a child?
That's a great question.
Thank you. Oh my God, I'm good at my job.
That's a great question, but in the simplest form, my older cousin was a big Patriots fan, and at the time, I wanted to grow up and be like him. And as I can remember walking, I was a Patriots fan because I wanted to be like my big cousin. And so ever since then, through and through, Patriot. All my years, and I remember playing Pee Wee football and wearing the Tom Brady jersey, playing running back, and doing it over and over again every day. Go home, wash the jersey, put it back on the next day. And I was playing for Starwood Raiders, so that's how it happened.
That's the first thing that came to my head. I was like, so this little kid was running around Mississippi talking about the New England Patriots.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, how does that happen?
Yeah, and I remember having Super Bowl parties, and I remember this one when we get made fun of because we lost. The Patriots lost against the Giants after the helmet catch. And I remember it so vividly because I got in trouble with my father because I got so mad after he made the helmet catch. And my dad had kind of like slapped my head. And he was like, you need to act right. And I didn't care. I told everybody they need to leave. Like, I was that mad.
You put him out.
Yeah, I put him out. And so
the Patriots lost to get out.
And that's one of why that still resonates with me so much. Like, I remember that so pivotal. But truthfully, anything that the Patriots ever experienced, throughout the years, I experienced. I went through every high and low with them. So.
So then, what's it gonna be like for you to put the helmet on, be the guy that can make the catch and ride the highs and lows with them?
See, I've already put the helmet on, So this is okay. I got a couple of helmets.
Where they at though?
They're not here.
Okay.
They're not here, but. Just to be in that arena in Gillette Stadium is gonna mean everything to me. Obviously, I played there before, but just to wear the uniform and put all that on, and it's gonna be so special. It's gonna be so special. I remember the time where I thought the Patriots were gonna draft me in the first round, 32nd pick, and I went home. Something about the Patriots let me breaking my heart. And I went home. I left the draft party. I went home and cried.
Again?
Yes.
The Patriots been breaking your heart for a long time.
Breaking my heart, but here we are now. Hey, better late than never. Better late than never.
And the timing couldn't be better because you get to be reunited with Mike Vrabel.
Yeah.
Okay, so walk me through like the course of y'all's relationship, because a coach and a star player, those are some highs and lows all in themselves, okay?
Yeah, so when I first got to Tennessee, he was extremely tough on me. And I didn't really understand what he was trying to do. And, obviously he was trying to push me to propel into the player that I am today. And it was just so tough, man. And I remember the conversation, I'm talking to him and I'm telling him, like, hey, man, you don't have to humble me. Like, I came from Mississippi. Like, I came from humble beginnings. And I just never understood it. But he just stayed on me all the time. And I remember writing, I do not play for Vrabel. I do not play for Vrabel.
Really?
Yeah, and because he was just so tough, I'm like, bro, I can't catch a break. I mess up.
What was he saying? What was it?
I mess up in practice. He was like, get out. Yeah, like I'm like, bro, just one time, like no. But he was just pushing me just to focus on the little things, the details, and he was holding me accountable, and we just grew close over the years, and my family became his family became my family. We looked out for each other, and a lot of times that don't happen, especially in the league, that don't happen, and I try not to get too attached to coaches because they go, leave and go, and but it's just somebody who stayed, and still we still always check up on each other, we talk to each other. He always asks me about the kids, asks me about his family. So,
first text he fired off to you when he found out it was a go.
Get open and catch the ball. That's what he always said.
Get open and catch the ball. That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do.
And that's what he said when you driving in Tennessee. And that's what he said again. He said, "Get open and catch the ball." The mission is still the same.
Okay, I think what's so interesting about what you said about Vrabes is he was holding you accountable at the beginning of your career.
Yeah.
You took everything you learned from him to Philly.
Absolutely.
And you were holding people accountable.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. So, yeah. So, how the Patriots DNA, the whole Bill Belichick era is just really tough on the guys and not really praising guys. I took that from Tennessee because he was like that. I took that from Tennessee and took that to Philly. I should tell niggas, I was like, hey, you don't got to praise me in the meet. I don't care what I do in the game. Just hold me accountable, because I want to send the message to everyone else that, that if I can be accountable, you have to be accountable as well. So that whole DNA, from Belichick, it still is with me today, and so that's where it kind of came from. And,
that got you caught up.
Yeah,
that's what got you caught up.
They got me caught up. Yeah.
How have you've been so great, and I thank you for this, your openness and honesty and being authentic about mental health. And I'm just curious how you're doing with everything that you shouldered, maybe over the course of the last 2 years.
Yeah, you just learn to honestly take care of yourself.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's what you have to do. And I think honestly that's why we're here. You know, I feel like my time in Philly has come to an end, you know, and I feel like for my career this is best. You know, it's obviously for the mental side of it, you know, you want to play ball and you want to have fun, and you know, and that's what it comes down to. You know, I want to play ball, make plays, you know, be that kid who once put the Tom Brady jersey on and went out there with my friends and just played and practiced all night till the lights went off, you know. And this game is still football, you know, and there's a lot of distractions now that comes with it, obviously, but you know, if I can shrink that back into playing football, then the rest will be fine.
Okay. Well, let's go do that.
Let's do
Guess
that.
who's going to be there week 1 for opening night?
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
You're going to have all your Patriots.
Let's go.
Like, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. I'm looking forward to it.
Let's do it.
Thanks, AJ.
Thank
This has
you.
been great. You're amazing. I hope you take the man cave rug with you.
I am.
Are you going to move? We got to move again?
Yeah, we gotta move again. We gotta move again.
That's why there's no furniture in here, guys, by the way. We're moving. All he has is a man cave rug. That's all he has is a Patriots rug in this house. But that was amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for opening up.
A 7 p.m. Creative 7 production.